Justice with Judge Mablean will be life, because in everything we do, it involves the law.
You came to court to testify about what you heard, what you saw, and what you know.
She's fair.
I don't have a hearing problem. This ear works good. This one works even better.
She's firm.
I'm not responsible for that ticket, and I'm not going to pay for it.
Who says you're not going to pay for it? I make that decision, not you.
She's honest.
What you have to say?
All I have to
Nothing.
say.
This is Justice with Judge Mablean. Jody Bateman is suing Yvette Fairfield in the amount of $1,724. Ms. Bateman claims Ms. Fairfield damaged her vehicle after she tried to repossess it. Ms. Fairfield claims she didn't damage the car and was unable to repossess the vehicle because Ms. Bateman attacked her.
Thank you. This is the matter of Jody Bateman versus Yvette Fairfield. And Ms. Bateman, I understand that your car was about to get repossessed, and you and the tow truck driver got into a little tete-a-tete, and now you say that she damaged that car that she was trying to repossess, and it cost $1,724 for repairs, and you want her to pay it.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
tell me what happened between you and the tow truck driver.
Well, ma'am, originally I actually bought the car using, one of those smaller, dealerships that help finance. It's not that I have bad credit, I just didn't have any credit. And so I purchased this 2012 Saturn, and it was new to me, old but new to me. I was really excited about it, making the payments and so forth. And then, a few months into owning the car and making the payments, I actually did lose my job. And I actually called them 2 weeks after being unemployed to let them know, the financer, the car dealership, that, I may not be able to make the payment. So I was, calling them in advance, like, is there something I can do, like delayed payment or, something when you have hardship. Some people, lenders, I've heard of that. So I, called them to let them know I lost my job. I might not be able to make this next payment. They immediately went into telling me, basically being super rude, that, that's not what they do. It's not about that. I must make my payment or the immediate next day. There's no grace period. Some places it's like on the third missed payment, then you get repossessed. Or like on the day after you miss your payment, you're repossessed. They didn't
1
answer
month
the phone.
behind?
One payment, not 3, not 2, 1. And I made that payment. I went home. I tried to call them a bunch of times, let them know. And I come back home. I go about my business doing house chores and stuff. When I look out in my yard a few hours later, and I notice there's a tow truck at my car. So I run out there to be like, wait a minute, I just made this payment. What are you doing? I did run up on her because, she's at my car and I just made this payment. I just took out a loan from my cousin to make this payment. I'm unemployed, still looking for work. So, she's telling me she hasn't hooked up anything yet, but she's going about her business telling me, basically I'm ratchet and it's my fault and I missed the payment and all this nonsense and call me out my name. And so I run into the house to grab the paperwork to show her, like, I made this payment. They know I made a payment. I called them to let them know I made a payment. It was only one and it's paid in full.
Okay, you showed her the paperwork. Then what happened?
Basically, we just exchanged some words. We go back and forth. She's basically calling me out my name, too. Like, I've seen 1,000 of you. You ain't nothing. You don't have any intention of paying this, blah, blah, blah. I'm not here to look at your receipt. Your receipt doesn't mean anything to me. I go off what the car dealership says.
So she refused to look at the receipt?
She refused to look at any paperwork. But,
okay.
I think basically she just got sick of hearing me.
I don't need you to think for her. I just want you to tell me what happened.
Okay, so...
Now you're trying to get in her mind.
Right, I apologize. So she... It basically got upset and left. She proceeded to get in her truck and haul off.
That's not exactly true.
Okay, so when she got in the truck and hauled off, when did your car get damaged?
She ran into my gate, but also she hadn't actually fully hooked up all her gear, and one of those chains that hook up to your car was dangling and smashing hooks onto my bumper and the front bumper and ripped it half off. So
one of the chains got caught under your front bumper when she was trying to pull away.
Right. So not only did she smash the gate in my house, she actually caused this $1,724 to my car.
Coming up on Justice with Judge Mablean.
I pull in the driveway, and as I'm getting out of the vehicle, she runs out of the house and she hits me.
Not just push, she hit.
She hit me, Yana. Don't let this demeanor fool you, okay?
And later...
There's a shot glass, there's something liquid, it's clear, you know it's not water.
Yes, but if it looks and tastes like water, what would you think?
Justice with Judge Mablean. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Jody Bateman, who is suing Yvette Fairfield for $1,724.
All right, let me hear your side, Ms. Fairfield.
I own and operate my own auto recovery company.
Oh, auto recovery. I like that word.
Or repossession.
Because the car got lost and has to be recovered,
Yes, it has
right?
to be
Okay.
recovered. And I contract with the city and several auto dealerships.
Mm-hmm.
I received a call from the dealership asking me to repossess Miss Bateman's vehicle. I go to Miss Bateman's house, and there's the vehicle. I pull in the driveway, and as I'm getting out of the vehicle, she runs out of the house and she hits me.
Not just push, she hit.
She hit me, Yana. Don't let this demeanor fool you, okay?
Well, I can imagine what
And-
demeanor she had when she saw a big tow truck about to tow her car.
And I understand that. Like I said, I've been doing this a long time. People don't want their cars towed. I understand.
So wait a minute now.
And so-
Was her car backed into the driveway so that it was facing frontward?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. And so I began to put the chain on the vehicle. She goes back inside of the house. She runs out of the house with this paper. And I tell her, I said, look, I'm not here to read your paperwork. You need to contact the finance company and go through them. So she pulls out this bat. You're not going to take my car. I was like, you know
Pulled
what?
out a bat?
Yeah. So I jump in my truck. I put it in gear, and I press the gas, and then she runs in front of the truck. So,
How can she run in front of the truck
Yes,
if the truck is right there at the bumper of the car? And the chain is there. How can she run in front of it?
Because she's between the truck and the car.
Then she's already there, so why does she need to run in front of it?
Who knows?
Who knows is that your story is not making sense.
Well, that's what happened.
So then, how did her car get damaged?
So I had to swerve to hit the gate to keep from hitting her. She waited 3 days to call me to tell me that I had tore her bumper off. And I told her, I said, look, I did not hit your car, I hit your gate. But if I did, if what you're saying in fact is true, here's my insurance information. Contact your insurance company. Have them contact my insurance company.
Well, let me just ask you this. Let's try to get the picture.
Sure.
You pulled up. You saw her car backed into the driveway.
Right.
You got out your car.
Right.
You pulled out those chains.
Right.
It's got these two big hooks.
Right.
And you hooked it under that bumper, or began to anyway.
I began to. I didn't complete
All
the
right.
hookup.
So you began hooking the chain under the front bumper.
Right.
Did you get either part connected to the bumper? The right or the left, either chain?
The chain was wrapped around the bumper, yes.
So you got the chain wrapped around the bumper.
Right.
All right. Now, you're not finished, because when you wrap the chain around the bumper, that's just the beginning, right?
Right.
Then you got to do a little lifting of the car, right?
Right.
So she goes back in the house. She went back in the house. Came back out with a piece of paper.
Correct.
You haven't finished your lifting process or moving anything else, right?
Right.
She hit you.
Yeah.
She comes at you with a bat.
Right.
You decide, I'm jumping in the car.
Exactly.
So that means the chain is still around the car. Gotcha.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You saw that you had damaged her gate. Did you go
No.
and tell your insurance company that?
No.
So here's my order. I think that you contributed by your conduct, but you also you forgot that you were connected to her car. So I'm going to have 50% of the responsibility on you, Miss Fairfield.
All right.
So divided by 2, let me just see how good I can do this. It's $862 that I'm ordering you to pay her.
Right.
So that's the order of the court, judgment for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All rise.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $862.
Jody, if you had contacted my insurance company as I asked you to do the first time, we wouldn't be here today.
I'm just glad that the judge ruled in my favor, so I'll at least get half my money regardless if your insurance company approves it or not.
Coming up,
You're at a high-end party that you've done before. There's a shot glass. There's something liquid. It's clear. You know it's not water.
Yes, but if it looks and tastes like water, what would you think it is?
Justice with Judge Mablean. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. Co-plaintiffs Rachel Harbison and Jane Purley are suing Tracy Mobley in the amount of $2,000. Ms. Harbison and Ms. Purley claim they were wrongfully terminated by Ms. Mobley. Ms. Mobley claims the plaintiffs were unprofessional and didn't do their job, so she shouldn't have to pay them.
Ms. Harbison and Ms. Purley, you're suing Ms. Mobley for unpaid wages. You had a catering job. You said that she was supposed to pay you as soon as the job was, well, within days after the job was completed, and she's failed to pay you to date. Is that right? Now, I know both of you are plaintiffs, but I need one of you at a time, so you can, one of you sit down. Who's going to take the lead? All right. Now, who's taking the lead? What's your name? Which one are you?
Hi, I'm Rachel.
Rachel. I don't go by first names. You're Ms. Harbison.
That's correct.
Okay. You need to speak up. All right. I need to hear you. So tell me what happened.
So I was hired through this catering job through my friend Jane. We were in a writing class together. And I usually work for Uber just on the side when I'm trying to get my writing picked up. And she told me about this catering job, just some free landscape work. And it was going to pay $1,000 for one night. We were only going to be there for 4 to 5 hours. And so it sounded like a great gig to me, honestly. So we get there and we're like setting up for the catering event. And so we had to step outside to have a cigarette just to like calm our nerves a little bit. We come inside, we're going to get some water.
I don't want you to talk about we. I want you to talk about you.
Sure. So I had some gum to get the taste of cigarettes out of our mouth. And then I started passing around the food tray, doing the catering. And I was feeling great at the time. Honestly, like better than I should have. I should have been nervous in front of all these A-listers, but all of a sudden I'm feeling great. And then I'd say about 30 minutes into it, I started getting dizzy and I had to catch my breath and I was sweating so much. And I sat down my food tray next to me, and maybe like 2 seconds later, Tracy was in my face, like pulling me off the ground, threw me into an Uber and sent me home.
Coming up.
Water in a carafe next to shot glasses. And so when you said shot glasses, I know you're well aware of alcohol. That's what shot glasses are usually used for.
Sure, but this looked, smelled, tasted just like water.
You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Rachel Harbison and Jane Purley, who are suing Tracy Mobley for lost wages and wrongful termination.
What's going on?
I was very disoriented. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you like how I got home or anything. I just like woke up in my bed, and then I had a message from my friend Jane that was also at the event with me, and she was just like telling me how sick she was.
I don't want you to tell me anything about Jane. She can talk for herself.
Sure.
Let me ask you something. You said you got the catering job, you got there, you went outside to have a cigarette when you were before or after you were passing around the food tray?
This was before the event started. We had like a 5-minute break. And then, so we stepped outside, came back in.
Started passing around the food tray.
Had some water. And then had a piece
you
of
left that part out the first time.
We did. We had some water.
You didn't say anything about that. That's what I was about to get to.
I'm sorry. I thought I mentioned that.
No, you said went outside, had a smoke, came back in, passed it around the food tray. You left out the little bit about drinking some water. Now, where did you drink this water?
Sure. So the water, it was in a little carafe, and then there were shot glasses next to it, and so I poured each of us a shot, and then...
And the water in the carafe with the shot glasses, where was it located?
Sure. It was inside the house. It was on the it was inside the house.
I know. I don't want you to tell me. You're going to tell me later. Okay. Where was it?
It was located inside the house, where there was also music in there and lights and things like that.
But it wasn't where you were. It wasn't where the food was it?
So we are.
Was it where the food was?
We were the caterers. We were passing around the food.
You weren't passing around food when you drank some water?
Right. This was before we started work.
Water in a carafe next to shot glasses. And so when you said shot glasses, I know you're well aware of alcohol. That's what shot glasses are usually used for.
Sure, but this looked, smelled, tasted just like water. We had no reason to think anything else.
Next to a carafe that looked like water that you thought you were drinking a shot.
We absolutely thought we had water.
In a shot glass.
Well, I mean, it looked, it smelled, it tasted just like water.
Judge Mablean's verdict when Justice with Judge Mablean returns. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean.
Switch places. Come on, Jane, because your friend really wants to talk for you.
Hi, Joanna.
But I think you can tell me your story yourself.
Yes.
All right?
So I've done catering before with high event parties, not with Mrs. Tracy here. And we were just there doing our job, doing our catering, passing around the food after we had that sip of water. And all of a sudden, I started to feel sick.
What did you think the sip of liquid was next to a carafe with shot glasses?
Well, I thought it was water.
You're at a high-end party that you've done before. There's a shot glass. There's something liquid. It's clear. You know it's not water.
Yes, but if it looks and tastes like water, what would you think it is?
But
water?
you weren't supposed to touch it in the first place because it wasn't water.
True.
All right, Miss Mobley, your turn. Oh, let me stop rocking.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay. Not about the rocking, but thank you for, first of all, I didn't throw them in an Uber. I escorted them to an Uber because they were completely out of it. And so
By their own testimony.
Exactly. And so I do exclusive parties, and my clients come to me because it's this exclusivity and the anonymity that they need and want. And they don't need, I try to screen these people that work for me to make sure that they're not going to get starstruck, because I've seen it before. They get starstruck, they get nervous, they just go to the alcohol to take the edge off. And then I got a word from the host of the party that all the bathroom lines were just backed up 20 minutes. So I go over there to check it out. And this one is in the bathroom with water all over her face. The door was completely unlocked and just like talking to herself. And so, you know, I'm just so I was embarrassed. I was just mortified. And so because this reflects on me.
Is there an area for your drinks?
Yes, but she
Okay,
did
that's
not
all I
have
need to
those
know.
bottle of waters
There
that
was
she's
an
thinking.
area for your drinks as the caterer. That area there where you drank that water, whatever it was laced with, whatever happened to it, it was not your area. You knew good and doggone well there wasn't water. And you wanted water, bottled water was reserved for you with a cap. For that reason, you don't know what you're drinking because you're at a party, unknown, don't know who fixed and who prepared the stuff, have not a clue what it is, didn't bother to ask the woman what it was, didn't ask the host what it was, you shouldn't have drank it. No, judgment for the defendant.
Thank you.
All rise.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.
Ladies, I'm sorry that you had a bad experience, but like the judge said, I don't need to pay you for work that you did not do.
Next time, you should be more aware of what you're serving at your parties.
This has been a production of